But I had somebody recently tell me that $300 means absolutely nothing to me. I spend that at the strip club every other night. But yet, you on my phone asking me for money. So let me tell you what you do with that conversation. You go on back down to the snapping pussy and you tell them girls to give you your money back so you can pay your bills. So you can pay your bills.
In all reality, this is what he just needs to do.
Shut up, bitch!
You are now listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Pea. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Go ahead.
I had a glass of wine earlier today, with my dinner. And then I was like, no, I better not get too involved with that because we got to do this little podcast and I want to make sure I'm good. I get on here and be saying all kinds of stuff. You be like, Mama, slow down, baby, slow down. we can't do that. We can't do that.
You know me. I'm drinking on a Corona and a bourbon.
Oh, I ain't mad at it.
So the bourbon for tonight is Penelope, the Architect.
Okay.
If anybody out there, some bourbon drinkers, go ahead and pick this up. This is a good one right here. Some Penelope Architect. All right.
Whoa. Wait, people can see us?
Yeah, they can see us.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I would have dressed up. I thought this was just a voice thing.
Nah, it's gonna be both. It's gonna be both. It's a voice and a video thing.
Oh Lord, look at that! Look at that!
That's the reason why. That's why you can see me. You see me?
Well, I can see you, but I just thought you were recording this thing. Oh Lord, I'm on here looking all jacked up from after working all day. Look at you. Yeah.
Oh, look at me! I got a hoodie on.
You have lied to your mother. This was not for disclosure.
Hey, you inside the contract, so.
Well, you got me. You got me. That's not good, though. You're not supposed to do your mama like that.
So what? You say you mad?
Am I mad? No, I'm not mad.
Yeah. Oh, this what you are?
I'm so freaking pissed.
We don't need that yet. Not yet. It may come later. We don't need that just yet.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this.
Okay, all right.
So we're gonna talk about toxic. I mean, not toxic. We're gonna talk about that, but we're gonna talk about modern and traditional males and females. What roles? What we think should change? All that, all that good stuff, right?
But that's not what you told me. Now, how you changing the topic on your mother like that? I thought we were talking about something else. But you know what? Let's go. I'm ready. Let's do this.
I'm not changing the topic for one. Full disclosure. We gonna talk about what I said we're gonna talk about. So we just gonna jump with this first because I feel like you got a great experience on this.
I got great experiences on everything. I'm 55. Come on now. I've been doing this for a minute. I ain't scared.
All right. So how do you feel about the way things are going in the dating world since you're a newly single woman and you find it a hard time dating guys because they stuck in that traditional mindset, but women ain't that traditional anymore. You know what I'm saying? They out there getting the bacon just as much as the man are. So how would you feel about it?
So I think both parties are stuck. I think women are stuck and men are stuck. But the roles are reversed. So again, I'm 55. I come from an era where men were men. You know, you treated your woman well. You believed in getting up, going out, and getting the bag. You had a job. You know, you were not dependent upon a woman to take care of you. And it was easy for men to find quality women because as a woman, you were wanting to be there and be that whatever your man needed. Now, I'm not saying that women are supposed to do that. I'm saying that's what I grew up with. Now, where we are today, women have jobs. Women are very successful, and in some cases, more successful than their male counterpart. And they are achieving things way beyond what society thought we were able to achieve. Now, my case personally, I find it difficult because I am not only how I describe myself would be a feminist and a militant. So I tell people I am a female, Black, militant feminist. That being the case, I love women in the sense of we are the most superb being, in my opinion, in the world. Now, we don't always show that. You know, sometimes we show a less than perfect woman. So we don't get the kudos that we're supposed to get because of how we choose to portray ourselves. I'm militant in the sense of I grew up in an era where it was a good ideal to be Black. You were loved for who you were in the more darker your skin and the natural hair. And, you know, no makeup, that pure beauty showed, and that was a good thing to be. I haven't changed. So my problem with dating is this. Too many men they see a woman like myself and they see bougie. I don't know how that happened because that's
Tell the people what you drive. Then we go back.
no. What I drive has nothing to do with this. I don't see how that happened. The bougie part. They see unapproachable. And the unapproachable part, I can kind of see because I'm a woman who knows what she wants. But that, in my opinion, that should not make you unapproachable. But they also see money. So you're looking at the ideal of somebody that you can use to your advantage. That's where we have a problem.
I would say so. I definitely would say so. You know, I mean, I'm not single. You know, I'm engaged, so I don't know much about the whole dating scene or anything like that. But from what the single men that's at my job, they tell me they gonna stay single until until they can find a woman that has the same ideology as them, or they Palmelina gonna be their best friend to the end.
Like-minded people is what you're looking for in a relationship. You should not be settling. You if you're going to do this, if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody, you want to find somebody who think as you. Everything might not be what you're looking for. You may need to compromise on some other things, but as long as the mind is the same, then it's easy to jail.
Right. So going from the traditional man and the modern man and everything else, let's transfer that to the workplace, right?
Okay.
So by males being in a lot of male dominated fields, they still have that traditional mindset. And I believe back when you was working for a certain company, you was stuck in that traditional mindset where they didn't see women as their equals, right?
Correct.
So you can tell your experience if you want. I think you should. So go for it. The floor is
So we're
yours.
going to call this the Acme Company. So I'm showing my age. If you remember Roadrunner, Bugs Bunny.
Anvil. Boom.
So this is the Acme Company. And there were a lot of men who, well, the owner was a man. It was a private company. It was not a publicly traded company. And this was my second experience in corporate America. I've been in corporate America now for 28 years. And when I started, there were not a lot of people who looked like me. So I did struggle a little bit with me being a militant type, Black is beautiful person. So I at one time did have a perm in my hair in order to get that job. And then after I got the job, I braided my hair in micro braids. And as you know, I wore micro braids for a very, very, very long time after
Very long.
that.
Very
And
long.
so male owned, vice president was male, but for some reason he liked me. And he was one of my first mentors. He was a white man, older white man. I would say he was 15 years, 20 years my senior at the time. So he was probably the age that I am now. And at that time I was 28. And so at that time, I walked into the company and, I fit the bill. I was somebody who they wanted to have represent their company. I was definitely,
To meet the Black quota or just meet the woman quota?
I believe it was more of a Black quota inside the corporate office, because although they had people Black working in the mailroom and further in the back of the company, or upstairs, they only had one Black female that worked inside the offices that people could see when they walked through. So I became number two. One of the things that he told me was that you're not a threat to me. He said, I can hire you, Brenda, and I will show you everything that you need to know about business and finances in general, because you're not a threat to me. He said, I would never hire your husband. He's like, I would never have hired your husband here. But for you, your husband will never achieve the things that you'll be able to achieve. So I want to give you a chance to support your family
Wow.
in the way that, you need to support your family. And when I tell people that, they said, I can't believe you stayed there after that. Why would you stay there? That's ridiculous. That was so racist and, disrespectful that you should have just got up and walked out the door. But unfortunately, I'm not that person. You intrigued me. What are you talking about? What is it that I don't know that you can teach me that would allow me to support my family in a way that my husband cannot do? And so I think that's where we as a people don't take advantage of the things that are brought to us. We want to take that anger and we want to be so mad about the messenger as well as the message that you don't see how you can benefit from it. So I learned things about money, how to save it, how to make it. I learned enough that allowed me to be able to support my three children in a way that other people at the time were not able to support their children. And not only that, I got the opportunity to really hone my own skill as far as being a
Right.
productive corporate worker. And so where he thought it was something that he was doing, as a favor to me, for me, you not only did it as a favor to me, you did it as a favor to anyone that ever comes in contact with me. Because as many Black people that I can teach, you best believe they gonna get this knowledge. Knowledge is
If
power.
you reach, I'ma teach.
Knowledge is power. So I walk into this company. So that's just the background. So now here we are. We're in this company and things are going,
The Acme
the
Company.
Acme company, and things are going well for me. I'm getting raises, I'm getting bonuses, money is just flowing. And then all of a sudden, the real ugliness rears its head. I get a manager, a supervisor who does not like Black people. So it was not the vice president of the company that I was working directly under. He just taught me in the beginning. So the supervisor come in, he doesn't like Black people. Me and your father decide that we want to build a home for you guys, the ground up. One of our blueprints gets faxed to me to the wrong fax. Somebody picks it up and sees it and says, the Mullins Dream Home. And the company goes, wow, they're pissed. How in the world did we allow her to sneak in and have the wherewithal to know that she could actually build a home from the ground up? We got to stop this from happening. You can teach her, but she wasn't supposed to achieve like that. So I wound up filing a discrimination lawsuit. And what happened in this situation was that we found out Black people were being underpaid. Women were being underpaid. And you were being underpaid based on your age.
So not only it was women, so
Yep.
gender, then it went
Yep.
to color, and then it went to
Yes.
age.
So we had sex.
Jeez.
We got them on sex, age, and color. And one of the comments that was made was this: as a woman, you don't need to make as much money as a man because you have a husband. Your husband should be making the money. So we don't have to worry about how much we pay you. We can pay you a considerable amount less because you shouldn't even be the breadwinner to begin with. So if the white women was making $5 less than the men in the same position, and a lot of them had more experience, the Black women were making $10 less than the white men, $5 less than the white woman. And if you came to the company as an older person, you were somewhere in the middle of that $5 to $10. But you were not making as much as a white man in his prime.
Not
Not
good.
good.
Not good at
No.
all.
I won my discrimination lawsuit.
Hmm.
The company had to rectify the situation. That company is no longer in business. It was bought out by the smaller company that I used to work for previous to that.
Oh, karma's a
Yes,
bitch.
it is. Yes, it is. But it just showed me a lot, and I never forget where I came from.
Well, you know, we're gonna give you a round of applause for just going through that.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
So I feel like you handled that very professionally on on your end. So we definitely got to give you a round of
I
applause
would
on
say
that,
I
right?
handle it very professionally in the professional arena, but on my personal time and in my home, it was not professional.
I mean, cause you at home, you out there getting you like screw these bastards, your mother, you some.
I have definitely honed my professional voice all of these years that I have been in corporate America. But my famous comment that I love to tell people is that I can go from the block to the boardroom. So the block came out of several times.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you gotta let them know, who you
Exactly.
are. Like DMX would say,
They
you
don't
know.
know who I be. They don't know who I be.
I know as a kid, you was having a hard time with them because they was just playing with your money. You know what I'm saying? When you won the lawsuit, I know that for a fact that like they was just holding it up. It was like crazy, right? And this is how I thought you felt when you felt like they weren't giving your money.
Where's my money, bitch?
So,
It was a little bit more than that, but I'll take it. Like you don't want me to come through. I know them people.
it's in Chicago. It's in Chicago. Born and raised. Southside.
I know. Carry them things. They do that stuff. Make me come see you. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Make me come see you.
I mean, people don't realize, we can be black people.
Oh, for sure.
But if you act up, we'll turn into some
For
niggas.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's there. It don't never leave. It's there. Only thing I tell you, don't make it come out. Shaniqua will find you.
So within all of that happened, and it's perfect because you had that perfect balance of professionalism and being you outside of work in that situation. You knew that you had to be professional, but when you made it home, you was able to vent to friends and family, right? Meaning family, my dad.
Yes.
I don't care about anybody else. My dad.
Your father was very supportive in that situation. He know I needed him. I guess I mean I'm gonna be 100% honest. Whenever I needed your father, he was there. He showed up. He showed up and showed out. For sure. For sure.
That man, he may not was emotionally there for certain things, like for parenting, like that he just never had that, so he never dealt with that.
Yeah.
But when it came down to y'all relationship, he was emotionally supportive. He was there. You used to go on like maybe a week long, sometimes 2 weeks, girl trips and stuff like that, and he'd hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just.
He let me have my space. He allowed that nurturing part of me to be shut down for as long as I needed it in order to gather myself to come back stronger. And I will say he allowed me. I know a lot of women that was like, let you allow you. You grown. You do what you want. No, when you have a husband and children, right?
With kids,
You don't just get to walk away. That's not how this thing works. Both
no.
parties have to be okay with that situation happening. And so he was okay with it happening. And I applaud him for that. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people used to ask him, aren't you afraid of your wife cheating? Don't you think she out there cheating on you? It was like, if she wanted to cheat, she'd do it right here. She ain't gotta go nowhere. She ain't gotta go out of town to cheat. Who do that?
You know, he's no longer with us, but we're gonna give him a round of applause
Absolutely.
just for him just being a good
Absolutely.
husband. You know, so we're gonna give him a round of
Absolutely.
applause for that. You know, shout out to you, Pop. You know, you're not
Shout
just
out, baby.
you know. You know, I'm your junior, so I gotta give you
Oh, I'm
love.
gonna give him love anyway, because again, he may not have been everything that I needed because we did eventually divorce. But I will say, when I needed him to show up, he was there. He showed
He
up.
showed up. So, how do you think? And I think this is a perfect segment because based off of him,
Mhm.
right? He balanced his masculine energy, and sometimes he tapped into his feminine energy. So he knew that when you was gone for those week or two, he had to be a little bit
Mhm.
more patient. He had to be a little
Yep.
bit more nurturing. He had to be a little bit more caring
Yeah.
than he normally is. And he really was. And so rightfully so, you know, I'm not gonna shy away from the facts. He was a brute
Oh, he
man,
was.
you know, like you mess
Oh
up
yeah.
with
Oh
gas.
yeah.
You know what
Sure.
I'm saying?
He was not
So
an alpha male. He was not an alpha male,
no,
but he was that. Hey, I'll get it.
he was that
I'll
man's
get it.
man. Yeah, he was definitely
Yeah.
that man's man. Like he would go and work 2 jobs
Yeah.
just to make ends meet. You know what I'm saying? He'll make sure that the family is taken care of at all ends that it means, you know, and all the other stuff. But, you know, when you were gone, he was so nurturing and so caring and so loving and tentative to us. And we looking like, nigga, where
Right.
was
Like
this when mama was here?
where this come from? But that's because he didn't want the Tasmanian devil to come back. And be like, what you think about this? No.
That probably is. I always thought it's because we was on our best behavior because we knew that if he was gonna get overboard with the whipping, you would be the one to stop her. So we were like, she ain't here. She ain't gonna stop her.
I would say that's true. That's true more than anything else. I agree with that.
You know, it like and my sister, she would push buttons with him, push buttons all the time. When you was gone, she didn't push no damn buttons. Yes, Daddy. She was like the
better.
church girl. I was like, okay, I'm gonna read my Bible before I go to bed.
She knew better. She knew better. For sure, she knew better.
So, do you feel like the modern man are more willing to learn how to balance those things, that masculinity and that feminine energy that we have, or traditional men are starting to learn how to do it? When I say traditional man, I'm boomers on back.
I think the more modern man has. I think it's about how you were raised. Let's go with that. I think it's about how you were raised.
Okay.
I think that nowadays there are more single mothers, and in raising
Yes.
your son, you're giving them more of that feminine part of you because there are no men.
I'm gonna interject right here. I feel like it's gonna be less single mothers because they're getting rid of the SNAP benefits.
You gotta eat.
They
You got
they gonna hold these niggas more accountable. I'm just
you
saying.
gotta eat. You gotta eat. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a joke. I'm gonna tell you a joke in a minute. You're gonna laugh. Uh, so I think that with the modern male now, he doesn't have. Most of them don't have a male role model. So they have a lot of women around them, and women nowadays are not trying to raise men. I don't believe that. I don't
No,
believe that women nowadays are trying to raise men. I think women nowadays, I
they
think
pussyfooting them.
that women nowadays are doing a great disservice to their sons because you're trying to raise a friend. And stop.
Hey, we saw it
Exactly.
firsthand.
Stop teaching your
We saw it
son
firsthand.
to be your friend. Women, please teach that child how to be a man. It doesn't.
Hold on. Say that one more time. Say it to the one time for the people in the back. Say it one more time.
Stop teaching your sons to be your friend. Raise them to be men. 110%. Give them the tools that they need to run a household. Not your household. You
And
gotta
if you
still be in control of your own household. But give them the tools to be a man.
and if you can't personally do it, I'm looking at the camera. If you can't personally do it yourself, it's so many sources online to look up to put them in boys camp or send them somewhere where actually men are willing to teach young men to be men. Boys and Girls Club, it's a perfect, YMCA. Get them in there. They literally teach these young men and these young women to be young men and women in this day-to-day society. So if you can't do it yourself, do the research.
Get the help.
You got a mini computer in your pocket as we speak.
Get the help. Get the help.
Go ahead.
And so that being the case, I think that, men being modern men are now balancing that act a lot better than, the older generation of men. Because I can be honest with you, in full disclosure, I was on the phone talking to somebody last night. Maybe the second conversation that I've had with this person. And he had called me at least twice that day. And at 6:00, no, it was probably about 8:15 in the evening, I get the third phone call, and this is how that phone call went. So, you just waiting on me to call you? You wasn't gonna call me? I thought we were supposed to be trying to, get this thing going. You want me to chase you? You supposed to be chasing us.
That sounds like some female
Now,
energy.
I'm normally this laughable, bubbly person. All of that went flat. And he said, "Are you there?" "Oh, I'm definitely here. I'm here." "Well, did you hear what I said?" "Oh, I definitely heard you. For sure. I heard you.
Right?
I'm just taking this conversation in. I'm getting everything I need right now." Listen to people. They tell you exactly who they
Yeah.
are. A lot of times we want to do this. We want to talk to get our point across. But you need to listen. That's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Sometimes you shut this up and let these do the walking for you. Because people tell you who they are. And so I'm giving you that story to tell you this. Someone he's 58. Someone of that age is so used to being the boss, so used to running things, so used to feeling as if I got the money, so you're going to do what I tell you to do, that you're looking for a woman that's just going to lay down to you. Now, men, let me explain something to you, because I know who I am. I came from a family where my parents was from the South, so I have Southern values, and I do believe that a man is the head of the household. I'm not knocking that, not no way, shape, or form. But let me explain something to you, men. You cannot control a grown-up. The woman in your life has an opinion, and it is in your best interest to hear whatever it is that she got to say. The ultimate decision of the household will be yours. But make sure that you understand that your woman understands that she's being heard.
Yeah, I would have to say so because that's the more traditional side, right? Where they don't want the woman to,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, to be able to have an
exactly.
opinion, really, right? And the modern man let their
I
woman
think
have
the
an
modern
opinion
men want their wife or a woman to have an opinion because they don't have one of their own.
because they don't even want. They don't
They
want to
don't
step
want to
up
do
and run the
anything.
house themselves. They don't understand. They don't want to be the
No.
fucking head of the table. You the head
Yeah.
of the fucking table.
Yeah.
Act like
I think that the roles have reversed. You know, men are
It's
so
definitely
used
that.
to nowadays women working and being that person that brings home the bread and probably makes more than her man, even if some of them don't even have a job. So that
You
being
know,
the case, you know, they don't want to do anything but drive her car, come to her house, eat up the food, play video games
Yup.
all day, running up the bills. And if they need some extra
Yup.
money or they need some clothes or something, call her up and Zelle
Baby.
me, Cash
Baby.
App me, Venmo me.
I need $20.
Right. And unfortunately,
I need $20.
we as women are allowing this to happen. Why? Why?
Baby, I took your car last night and, you know, was hanging out with the boys and I ran the gas tank down low. I need $20 to fill up your tank. If it's okay, can you just yell it to me? You know, and my bank account is negative too, so you won't have to sell more than just the $20. I'm negative about $5, so you need to sell me $25. But I want to get a pack of cigarettes, so you can do $35.
I had somebody tell me, I've told you this already, but the world doesn't know. But I had somebody recently tell me that $300 means absolutely nothing to me. I spend that at the strip club every other night. But yet, you on my phone asking me for money. So let me tell you what you do with that conversation. You go on back down to the snapping pussy and you tell them girls to give you your money back so you can pay your bills. So you can pay your bills.
So in all reality, this is what he just needs to do.
Shut up, bitch!
Good Lord! Yes. Yes. Please. Shut your ass up.
100 times over. 100 times over.
Shut your ass up and
You
sit
know?
the fuck down. That's it. That's it right there.
So it's perfect that we talked about gender roles, right? That it flipped. And I'm glad that you touched on that because that's the next topic. The gender roles. And then on top of that, we're gonna spice it up a little bit. Financial abuse. Gender roles and financial abuse, how that plays a part. Because literally, I'm being real here, more women are graduating at a higher rate than men from college.
Yeah.
Right? But women are still taking nurturing jobs in those higher rates. So they still being nurses, they being teachers, you know, stuff like that. Men are still graduating and going to these big firms, like lawyers,
Yeah.
doctors. You know what I'm saying? When you're a doctor, you don't have to be nurturing. You just give me the medicine, nigga, and leave me alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's literally what it is. It's the nurse job to be nurturing. The doctor just gonna fix you up.
Now my
You know what I'm
doctor,
saying?
listen. Now my doctor, listen. If you can't speak to me with some kind of concern and empathy in your voice, I'm finding a new doctor. But that's just me.
Hey, I feel it.
Something. I
But
pay too much.
like some
Insurance premiums are too high for me not to be treated with some respect. You better act like you know.
But some doctors, they don't even get a bad news anymore. They send the women out to do it, the nurses or the
Well,
nurse practitioners. You know what I'm saying? They send them
all my
out to get the
doctors are
bad
women.
news.
All my doctors
There
are
you
women.
go. I'm
Okay,
talking
I
about
don't
male
know.
doctors.
I don't
I'm
know
talking about
because
male
I
doctors.
haven't seen a male doctor.
Yeah.
I haven't
I'm
seen
talking
a male
about male
doctor in
doctors.
over 20 years.
Yeah. I'm talking about male doctors. Yeah, they, like, it's funny because, all right, so I talked to a doctor about my weight
Mhm.
loss and everything else, and I was thinking about getting on one of those little injections or whatever to help me lose weight and whatnot. And I talked to my female doctor about it. She was like, okay, that's cool. We can see, come back, like continue doing what you're doing. And then in a couple of months, if that's not working, we'll
Mhm.
get you on that, right? So she was out. So I talked, her replacement, which was a male guy, and he was like, you used to be a personal trainer, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, why you just don't go harder? I'm like, damn, he called me out real quick. Damn. He called me out real quick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you're right. I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it anyway. But you know who I am. That's just me. So
That is true. And the only reason why I was thinking about doing it is because
yeah.
you know my schedule. I can't say what I do for work,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know my schedule. You know what I'm saying? And you know that I'm in school. You know that all that stuff that piles up on top of that. And so the only workout that I do is what I do at home. So for me to get a real full experience,
Yeah.
I will have to go to the gym. But I ain't got that time like that to go to the gym most of the days. I could go on my days off or on my fours, but that's why I be like once out of a week and 2 times in 1 week when I'm on my 4 days off or whatever. So it's not going to really work like that. I mean, that's good for maintenance, right? To see if I can, I still got my strength and, build up that lung capacity, run that 1 mile or whatever.
Situation, your eating habits are 100% key. And then when you get to the gym, you're killing that. So just whenever you can get to the gym, you kill it, and you make sure that your eating habits are on point, and you'll still get where you want to go. But that's not the topic of this.
I know. No, it's not.
That's a later topic.
But
and then I'll give you some more pointers from my cycling instructor point of view.
That's right. She does it all. She's Superwoman.
I try to be. I'm working hard at it.
But from the gender roles aspect, it definitely flipped, right? More women are in the gym getting it.
I know.
Like crazy.
Of all ages. Absolutely.
Yeah. It seems like it's less men in the gym. And the only reason why it's like less men, which we're going to get to on a later podcast, is because of the the things that's going on in the gym between men and women. Women deeming men sexes and creeps and whatnot and everything else. So some men are just like, fuck this, I'm buying equipment and work out at home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got to
which I don't blame
that, this is coming about because that has been the case. It's been a lot of women and even myself, I've been approached in the gym, and you remember when I was working out with my favorite trainer,
Yeah.
Shout out to
Shout out
O.
to O.
You know, he would keep men away from me. He did it on purpose. We pretended as if we were a couple after I had lost a lot of weight and he was still training me, just so that men would not approach me while I was in the gym, because I wasn't there for that. But they definitely tried.
Right. And you know, when I was, fuck it, let's talk about it. Let's say we're gonna talk about it later topic. Fuck it, why not? It's just masculine energy,
Right.
feminine energy, right? Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it. Ain't nothing to
it. Right. So when I was younger, when we was working out with you in your beginning of your weight journey, me and my best friend,
Hey,
EWJ Earl. We would work out with you, and we was in there on the prowl.
Yeah.
We was in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We was trying to get all the women. We didn't care, but that's what is expected
Yeah.
of a teenager. A young dude who literally just got his dick
Right.
wet a week ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He trying to get some more. So he going to approach and try to do what he need to do so he can get some more. We wasn't even working out. Shit, we'd go in there and do a couple of
Yeah, I
reps
know.
on every other machine.
I know.
and-
Because
you know
anytime
what
the
I'm
trainer
saying?
tell you, oh
It's
my
the-
God, your
it's
mama
the-
outworked you, I know you weren't working out.
Exactly. Like you flirt with the women, then leave the gym and go to Jules Osco and get some rib tips and eat them in the car. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would go shopping more than we did working out at that time. But it took me getting up to like 300
Right.
pounds in one night when I was living in Seattle and losing all that weight and turning that weight into muscle and everything else. And while I was in that process of turning that into muscle, women would be like, ooh. And I'm like, I'm
Yes.
working out. I'm trying to better myself.
Right.
Don't
So
approach me while I'm working out.
The table has
Don't do
definitely
that.
turned in that sense, where a lot of women are. And, I had someone tell me, a girl who was doing my hair, but she was being disrespectful, so I had to cut her off. She asked me about, did I meet the guy I was dating at the gym, and asked me, was I a gym rat? And I was like, not a gym rat. I do go to the gym and work out a lot. And I understand that that's what she meant by it. But for me, I don't like that term. I go to the gym to work out for my health. There's nothing ratish about that to me. But
No, it's not. It's not. It's being a gym rat is when
right.
you always on. You choose. You literally in the grocery store between two items that's similar like this.
Right.
This one got more protein.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But she
live
met
life. Gym
Well,
rats don't live
exactly.
life.
So I was like, nah, that's not me. But she had met her guy at the gym. And, and she would say, well, how you get them is how you have to keep them. I was like, well, let me explain something to you, honey. If you were going to the gym just to meet a man, shame on you.
Very, very much so. Because that place is all about
Exactly.
bettering yourself.
No.
It's not about hookups. It's not about being, meeting new people. It's all about bettering yourself. Now, in the process, like minds think alike. So if you meet people at the gym that's thinking the same way you thinking, and they got the same goal as you, and they complimenting you on how hard you working, then you can become friends with them.
A relationship.
And if it lead into that,
But unfortunately, there are so many people who, I see it all the time because I'm at the gym a lot, buy membership just to start working out. And 2 months later, because they met somebody, they're no longer using that membership because they have somebody now.
Yeah, no, this is not your dating pool. The gym is not your dating pool. And people, both roles need to understand that. More so than the man, than the women. But I think the men understand that now with the whole trend of, you trying to help a woman, from not crushing herself on the squat rack, and she deeming you as a pervert because she didn't ask for your help. So I think most men understand that. You know what I'm saying?
The whole Me Too movement is getting a lot of things in check, but everything is not a Me Too issue. But I agree.
I think it's funny. It's TikToks that's out where men hear women like play like they're hearing women scream on the getting squashed on the squat rack, and they're like, I would go help her, but I'm not finna lose my job because you want to deem me as a creep. On the internet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
and I don't blame it.
It's getting hard for gentlemen to be gentlemen because, unfortunately, women don't really respect the fact that they're women. I've had a conversation with a female who asked me, is it okay for men to say that women who are posting pictures of themselves in a bikini or, negligent or whatever is advertising? She didn't like my answer because my answer was yes.
What's your answer?
It's thirst trap.
Trap.
You're putting yourself out here, and but you cannot be mad at the type of person who responds to you, because you're not going to attract the man that you want by doing what you're doing. Men.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you're a woman and you take a picture of yourself, and it's in the mirror, and you got your nails done, so that people can see your mirror, your reflection in the mirror from your nails, and your caption saying, "Aren't my nails so cute?"
Right.
But you in a bikini, nobody
they wouldn't even know what your nails look like. But
we're not reading your caption. I'm as a man, I'm gonna see that, and you got a banging body. And you in a bikini and you talking some, are my nails so cute? I ain't looking at your caption.
They go, screenshot you and save it for later when they need to do a little whatever.
Some most men gonna definitely whack off to it. You giving softcore porn vibes, okay? You got them teenage boys out there saying,
exactly.
"Oh my." You know what I'm saying?
Men have had a saying for a very long time: you cannot change a hoe into a housewife. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, the last thing that you want to do is give off hoe vibes. Sorry, ladies.
Like Snoop would say, take off them snowshoes and put on them hoe shoes.
Sorry,
taking them pictures like that, you might as well take off your regular shoes and you better go ahead and get on that OnlyFans.
I'm sorry, ladies. I gotta call it like I see it. I'm still your biggest fan, but you doing what you do. You do not have to be naked to be sexy. Sorry, you don't.
You don't. I swear, like you could be that woman, getting ready to go on a date or a big event. It ain't got to be a date. Let's say it's a big accomplishment for you. You just graduated from your doctorates. You know what I'm saying? You got an after party and you got on this black silhouette dress. And it's a little slit down there at the legs to show a little bit of thigh. Not even a lot, just a little bit of thigh. And you ain't even got to wear no stilettos. It could be just some plain Jane heels. Dude's gonna look at that.
I wonder what's next.
Oh shit! Like I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be so real with you. Dudes literally find women wearing glasses with the little neck keeper around, on women, sexy as shit. They think something about a librarian looking lady with glasses. They think that shit's sexy as hell. And if you think about a librarian, she got on a little sweater vest, you know what I'm saying? She got a long ass dress down to her ankles, right. Boobs, you know what I'm saying? But the glasses is what do it to her. And she ain't showing no booty. She giving you all covered up. She looking like an Amish lady. and dudes find that sexy.
I-
So like, what you think? You need to be on Instagram showing your
Well,
tatas.
I mean, if
You know what I'm
you're the
saying?
right type of woman, you could be fully clothed, and people gonna see what they see anyway. Some stuff you just can't hide. You know. So,
It's like, what's her name? What's her name?
mhm.
Olivia Pope
Yeah.
from the Scandal.
Yeah.
That says it all. She
Yeah.
was wearing pantsuits, and she was
Yeah.
always a 10.
And just
Always.
for the record,
What I'm saying?
Dr. Kerry Washington, salute to you, ma'am. Beautiful lady.
Very beautiful. And
Yes.
congratulations on the baby too. Congratulations. But yes, it's just, you don't need to do the thirst traps. I understand if that's you in the music industry, entertainment industry, well, anything like that. Hell, even you're a porn star. I'm not
Sex
shutting
sells.
no women
Sex
out that's
sells.
doing that. You know what I'm saying? Sex definitely
It's all
sells.
right. If that's your gimmick,
It
use
definitely
it to the
does.
fullest. Now I can tell you my joke. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching TV Saturday because I didn't want to be bothered with anybody, so I refused to go out on a date. And
Hold on,
yes,
you turning dudes down?
yes,
You got it
leave
like
me
that?
alone.
You like, nah, nigga.
I'm good. Sit down. Call number. Look.
Have
Call
some
number 2.
receipts that.
Number 188. Number 188.
She definitely the two because I'm the one. Fuck you mean?
Don't call number 2 because I'm number 1. I ain't going. But I'm watching Lavelle Crawford, and I don't know if you know Lavelle Crawford, the comedian, but you know, Lavelle Crawford is the comedian back from the 2000s, big old overweight guy, you know, dark skin. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's lost
yeah,
some weight. He's
yeah.
looking, you know, decent. He's not as thin as he could be, but you know, he's all right. And he says, whenever I see a female homeless person, I'm always giving them money. I just can't stop. You know, I see somebody who's homeless and they're a woman, and I look at them and I start crying and I just give them my wallet. And I'm like, here, you know, here, my PIN number is blah, blah, blah. Take what you need. He's like, because I feel so sorry for her because her pussy broke. Because as long as you're a woman, you should never fucking be homeless. I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I was like,
I
oh,
have to
man,
agree.
why you had to go
You know,
there? It is the oldest profession, but you know.
I have to agree. You know, and this is what I have to agree on you with. There are you saw the TV
Yes.
show My 600-Pound Life, right? It was an episode of a woman. If she took a picture
hmm
from here on up, you like,
Yeah.
gosh, she is beautiful. But when
Mhm.
she was right here on
You're
down,
like,
you
okay,
like,
that's a lot of
God
women.
damn. But she wasn't hiding, to say the least. She was on My 600-Pound Life. I was like, but she wasn't hiding nothing. Her fans knew who she was. Her fans didn't care. They were sending her food to her house. She was getting food DoorDash to her. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Wow.
and snacks. And all she had to do was the requirement for her to get those foods was to record herself eat so they can. And she wasn't
See?
paying her rent that way. So
See?
just imagine how much money she was bringing in off the fact that she couldn't work, and these dudes are sending her money and also subscribing to her channel to
Right. Eating. See?
offer her eating.
See? I mean, like I said,
So she ain't shoving nothing up there. She ain't playing with
No, she
herself.
just
She ain't
put food
showing
in
her
her
titties.
mouth.
She ain't doing none of
Yeah.
that. She just eating the pie. She eating Kentucky Fried Chicken and then pie.
Or yeah.
And these niggas are paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I heard the joke. Me being the feminist that I am, I was like, I can't believe he said that. And then me being the woman that I am, with the personality that I had, I almost fell off my couch laughing because I was like, well, hell, it is the oldest profession, so I would have to ask that question too. It ain't working, sister.
It's definitely the oldest profession. You know, like, it's funny to me, right? And I'm gonna ask you this because
You did
we
not.
didn't get to
'Cause
financial
you
abuse.
got all off topic.
We didn't. Yeah, we did. I mean, fuck it. I mean, I don't think you can even answer to that because shit, you was always the breadwinner.
I have always made the most money in every relationship that I've ever been in. And I will say this, even though I've struggled with knowing that some people were not paying me what I was worth, I always knew my worth. So I'm gonna always get mine no matter what, because I know who I am and I know what I'm capable of. So I'm my own biggest salesperson and advertising agent. So I'm going to be the person that's going to tell you that eventually you're going to pay me, and I can guarantee you eventually I got paid. But to that point, women who make a good living have a hard time finding men who make a good living because cash is king. So when you now get into the position where you make a lot of money, your counterpart doesn't want you to be able to outdo him. So if he's not making the most amount of money, or if you're equal to him, he can't control you the way that some men feel. So you're not going to be able to find that. But here's the thing that I will tell you, women, just be who you are. Love yourself more than you love anything else in this world. And some people will say that that's selfish, but it's not. Because if you don't love you, can't nobody else love you. And once you get to that point where you know who you are, you know what you want, and you love yourself, you will find everything that you need and you will be happy. Don't look to somebody else to make you happy.
And men,
you do it yourself.
And men, this is what I'll say to you. If you're going to get in a relationship, you find a woman that is going to be just as ambitious as you are to willing to achieve her goals. So y'all money is going to be at the even playing field. Hopefully. She might make more than you, or you might make more than her. But if y'all split shit equally and treat each other as equals, because that traditional shit is out the window now. Somebody got to pay. See, y'all gotta split that bill down the middle now. And I'm not talking about dates. Because if you're gonna take your woman on a date and y'all in a relationship, you should definitely pay for it. Now, if your woman say, "Hey, baby, I'm gonna treat you,"
let her do it. And women, we should treat every
money.
once in a while. We should definitely do that.
And if you don't know what that looks like, go listen to Usher, Trading Places. That's my favorite song.
Now, let me be clear. Let me be 110% clear, because I don't want anybody to say that I have said anything telling women that they should belittle themselves or anything like that, because you should not. Listen, what you decide to do in your relationship with your man is your business. You handle your business accordingly. But please do not think Please do not think that because you're
Exactly.
in a relationship with this man that he belongs to you. Unless this man has put a ring on your finger and marched
Exactly.
you down the aisle, he is not your husband. He is not your husband.
Exactly.
He-
And
You're
same for
not
you,
married.
man.
You're not
And same
married.
for you,
So,
man. If you not if
so stop
go ahead.
doing these things as married couples will do. Stop buying homes together and you're not married. The law does not make provisions for you if you decide to break up and both of your names is on that deed. You're going to have a problem.
Man,
Don't do it.
don't do it. Don't do it, man. You put down 20 grand. She only probably paid for 5, so you put down 15, and she gonna take that.
Stop.
Bitch. You
You
better
will
stop.
be going to court to get out of this situation, and the judge is gonna look at you and be like, "You were not married. What are you doing? Stop buying cars together.
You stupid.
Stop buying
You were
cars
stupid.
together. Stop.
Don't do it.
Stop
Don't do it.
connecting bank accounts when each person can go and clean it out. One person can clean it out. Stop.
Don't
Stop.
do it.
Stop.
Because they only need one party consent. The banks are literally just like some states.
Yep.
You need one party consent. And that's the party that's
At
in
the
that
time.
motherfucker with their ID to
And you're
verify
going
the
to be
account.
lost. And there's nothing that the law can
They
do
don't-
for you. The person's name was on the account. They can take the money. It doesn't matter how much you put in or how much they put in. Stop it. Protect yourselves.
So the last final question of the night. Is the world ready for a modern man and woman that
The
hold
world
each
is
other
not-
equally, that's willing to work with each other?
Is the
Go
world
ahead.
ready or are we ready as human beings? Which one are we talking about? Okay, as human
Both.
beings, we're not ready. And the reason that I'll say as human beings we're not ready is because we don't know who we are. People, do the work. Do the work. Fight your demons. Become one with yourself. Learn how to love you so you can teach somebody else how to love you. Once you do that, you're ready. But we're still fighting these inner demons, so we are having these horrible situations and horrible relationships because regardless of modern men or traditional men and women, you know, you're not ready for that situation because you don't know what it is. You come from broken homes. You don't know. I'm telling you, I'm here. My experience. Come from a broken home. I never saw my mama and father kiss each other. They didn't even sleep in the same bed with one another. So I struggle with the ideal of actually being in a relationship with somebody who knows how to love me because I haven't been able to teach them until now. Is the world ready? The world is ready because it's happening. We just got to catch up as human beings. With everything changing the way that it has changed and society being the way that society is, until we learn to love one another and love ourselves, it's going to be a hard road.
I have to agree with you. I definitely have to agree with you. The world is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
The world is definitely evolving.
Yeah.
I don't think the people is ready,
Yeah.
but the world is already here. The Me Too movement, the feminine movement, the LGBTQ movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, it all made the world ready for
The
what's
world,
going on
the
right
stage
now.
is set. We just got to walk into it. But until we learn to be who we truly are. See, we're so busy trying to have our representative out there telling people who we are when that's a bald-faced lie. That's not who you are. That's not who you are.
Exactly. and it's
It's
not
not
going to
working.
work. You know, like literally in Chicago, Lightfoot lost, and people are like, "Oh my God!" And that's
I would
probably
say
for
it
the
was for the
best.
best. And you know this
You
is
know
the
what I'm
first
saying?
time that has happened in 40 years where an incumbent mayor didn't even get to the runoff.
Yeah,
So that says a lot. It says a lot.
it's
Yeah.
about who she is. It says a lot about who she
Yeah.
is and why the people are tired of her. Police. I know the world is very hesitant on the police right now, but police are dying at a hard rate in Illinois right now because of the bills that she up front. Because she's trying to be progressive and everything else. I understand that the police, even in Chicago, so it's not right a little bit. Some of the things that they're doing, and they're not being held accountable for the things that they're doing majority of the time. So she created laws and bills in place for the police to not be able to do certain things. But it stopped the police from being the police. And police are dying, and these families are sad about it. And especially the people who was injured. And that same police officer saved them a week ago from dying, and then the next week they die. So the people are seeing that. The people of Illinois is seeing that lives in Chicago, and they're like, screw this. Screw it. I follow the police department out in Illinois because I want to be a cop in Illinois. I really do. I probably won't be an actual cop,
Right.
but I'll be a sergeant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think I want to be work the beat like that in Chicago because I'm from there. So it's just a lot of biases in there. And I don't think that I can actually sit as a cop and look at things from a veil of ignorance as a cop in Chicago because I'm from there. I can't do that. But if I'm a sergeant, I'd be able to manage my people on my team and come help them with calls and be able to help them navigate through a situation that's occurring on the field. And I can do that because I'm managing my people, not the civilians. I'm making sure that the people, you know, my cops, my fellow cops are doing things the right way. So that's why if I would go back to Chicago and be a cop, I would be a sergeant before I step foot back there. I would never work the beat because I would see too much and I would come from a biased standpoint. And I know that it's best for me to stay right here where I'm at in Minnesota and work the beat because I don't know none of these motherfuckers.
Right.
And this is not my town.
I will say this about Ms. Lightfoot, you know, and any other politician that really wants to hear the opinion of a potential voter. You know, what you do matters. What you say matters. People are starting to pay attention. The lies that you used to tell, you know, they're not going to be tolerated. You know, most voters are beginning to understand that we have a voice and we have a choice. And thank you,
George Santos.
And they're using their choices and their voices. And, you know, for her, she said a lot of things. She did a lot of things. She was very disrespectful, you know, to a lot of people, to a lot of unions and things of that nature. And, you know, when you're in power, you think that there's nothing that anybody can do to you, but understand that you're only in power for a short period of time. You got to be voted back in. So if you're not going to uphold your word, or you're going to lie through your teeth while you're in office and do things where you should be incarcerated for, then guess what? You probably won't get back in office.
I'm literally watching videos of the people know that the police cannot chase after them, and they are hitting and swinging on police officers and running away. And if a cop chase after them, the first thing they say, "You're not supposed to do that. You're about to lose your job. You know you got to ask your sergeant before you can do anything."
Yeah.
And that is a law and bill that she put into place. And I'm not trying to like make people, you know, feel bad for the police. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. But if you think about the police is supposed to go and get the bad guy.
That's what they're supposed to
That's
be.
what the police are. And if the mayor limit their role to get permission from their sergeant, and their sergeant can be handling another case across town. Chicago is a big city. Big city. And if he's across town handling something, let's say he's downtown and something happening on the south side. You know how long it's going to take him to get to the south side?
It's how you get there 20 minutes.
And he's the police.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, he's going to turn the light on.
A lot.
But you know what can happen in 20 minutes? If you got Netflix or Hulu or do any streaming services and you pay for the commercial free, your favorite TV show happens in 21, 22 minutes. So that means you can watch a whole show that's 30 minutes long with commercial in 20-something minutes. A police officer traveling from downtown Chicago to the neighborhood that is happening on the south side, that's a 20-something minute drive. Just imagine what happens in 20 minutes.
And when I say south side of Chicago, I'm talking about the hundreds, like coming from downtown, getting to the hundreds. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The 119th.
Yeah.
Coming from downtown's 119th. Because the south side started on 95th. So that's probably 15. Still, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what what she did to the police officers.
I will say this.
Just imagine everything else.
In her mind, she was doing something that was good because of all of the stuff that was going on. But, you know, you got to remember that a police officer is supposed to be there to serve and protect. And if you're tying their hands, you're making it difficult for them to be able to serve and protect. So we're just going to leave it with that. For me, you know, that would definitely be my resolve in that conversation, is that the good police officers who are there to do the things that they're supposed to do are now not able to do it because you have put their hands behind their back. And people are taking advantage of it. And that's a sad position for anybody to be in because no one wants to be taken advantage of.
For real. And
not yet.
Not
yet. They got the runoff happening.
I don't even know
she's still mayor until the election is held and a new mayor is announced. She's just not a part of the runoff to actually become mayor. She could never be mayor again. But she could probably be mayor again if she run again, but not in this election. Yeah.
And that's crazy, right? Because the people know. The people's voted and said.
Yeah. You know, I used to ask people that, you know, because I was happy to hear that Chicago had a black mayor. You know, even though I was no longer living in the city anymore. And I was like, so how do you guys like Mayor Lightfoot?
Lightfoot.
She ain't. I was like, really? I was like, okay.
And I mean, and it seemed like it's starting to unveil, right? Because you got people are saying that, man, she made the boot stuff even more like police, like not police, getting a boot on your car, the fines are even higher. So you got a black guy, probably roughly around about my age, who was affected by his mama getting the boot or his daddy getting the boot. You know what I'm saying? He like, we ain't doing that shit no more. When I become mayor, we ain't doing it. Ain't nobody getting boots. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he's like the front runner in Chicago from what I saw. Like people like he ain't doing boots.
Like, no, it's two.
You know what I'm saying?
It's two. They had the election that's going to get them to the runoff, and so the two people who are going to be running for mayor is oh my God, I know him because I can remember it from when I was younger. But he's a white guy, and the other guy is a black guy. but he is an alderman, and he was a Chicago public school teacher, and they live in Austin. They live in the Austin
Okay.
neighborhood. And he was talking about how, you
Mm-hmm.
know, he definitely wants police reform and all of that stuff, but he understands how important the police is because of the neighborhood that he's trying to raise his 2 children and his wife is in. The police is very prevalent. You need them there, and he understands and respects that. So I think he has a
Yeah.
good. I think he has a good chance of winning, a good understanding and a good chance of winning.
Understanding.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of this guy's name because he's a known. I think he ran for mayor before. He used to be a superintendent in the
Mm-hmm.
Chicago public schools, and he screwed it up. So his name is very known in Illinois, so that might be a problem because sometimes we go with what we know, not with what we need.
Yeah. Definitely. And sorry, guys, I know that was the last topic that we said we was going to talk about, but we from Chicago. So even though we not living in Chicago,
Absolutely.
our hearts are still there. Our hearts are still there. I fantasize going back there, living there,
I
and getting me
don't.
some Harold's
I
chicken.
don't ever want to live
You know what I'm
in the
saying?
Chicago area again
Nah.
in life. So have at it. You know, I love it. I love Illinois. I am always a fan. Chicago Bears all the way. I don't care if they suck. I'm a loyal fan.
Oh,
The
yeah, go
Bears.
Bears. Bears down, baby. Bears down, baby.
That's right. Go Bulls, Bulls, Bulls,
Go
Bulls.
Bulls.
Um,
And I'm a Cub fan.
all right,
I'm not a White
Sox.
Sox
I
fan. I'm a
got you.
Cubs
I'm
fan.
holding
So
you
go
down,
Cubs.
Sox.
Go Cubbies.
Blackhawks, I rock with you.
Amen. There you go. There you
Right.
go. We Chicago team day in and day out. I'm also a Yankees fan, so you'll catch me you cheering for the Yankees, but yeah, that's neither here nor
You
there.
know, but love is love. And that's the way I live. Honesty, loyalty, and love.
Love is love. Honesty, loyalty, and love. I like it. You know, I got it tattooed on me because I heard my grandfather say it when I was a kid. Death before dishonor. So
Okay.
let's end it with that. Death before dishonor, honesty, and love. All right, that ends this podcast. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right.
Thank you for listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Bee. Don't forget to download and follow the podcast so you can be notified when the next episode drops.